That sparks another question for me. You said you made him your God. What was it that caused you to make him your God?
The reason I'm able to tell my story now too, I ended up talking to a good friend of mine I went to school with, and a lot of times, and I was thinking about this as I was getting ready, a lot of times we can take normalcy that we think things that are normal and make them normalcy. You can take chaos in your life or abuse or trauma and make it normalcy. And a lot of people are walking around thinking that's normal for them to be that way or act that way or function that way. And it's not normal. Like I thought it was normal to keep everything inside. And that was not normal, because that goes back to my childhood. I was adopted when I was a few days old by a couple that were old enough to be my grandparents. And so a lot of, I was listening to your video earlier when you was talking about rejection. That's the thing I brought up. I started doing a journey last year. I ended up talking to a therapist because I needed to talk to somebody. I had ministered to so many people in church, even while I was going through what I was going through, trying to heal while you bleed, heal people and help people while you bleed. And I was doing that, but still coming back home broken, still coming back home, walking on eggshells, still coming back home, trying to figure out how I'm gonna get out this situation. How is God gonna restore me? Is God gonna fix it? What is he gonna do? It goes all back to my childhood, just thinking it was normal because my mother taught me that it was normal. I went through mental, verbal, and physical abuse as a child, even being adopted. And then, like I said, just on my journey last year of talking to a therapist, realized something that I brought up to my therapist, and I was like, what do you do when a lot of people, you can experience, because you talk about experiencing rejection, but what do you do when you're born with a spirit of rejection? And I had to face that, because feeling that way from the time I was a child up into definitely last, still like on and off, still can feel that, because my mother was so young when she conceived me, and everything, just like when you carry a baby, when a woman carries a baby, everything she goes through and what she feels, if you put her through stress and strain, the baby gonna feel all of that. And so I felt all of that. Whatever my mother felt, it was put on me. It wasn't a spirit of rejection that I chose, but it was birthed in me. And when I brought that up to my therapist, and she was like, I never thought of that before. And I wondered, how many people that'll be listening today will even know that sometimes it's not just because you go up to a person and you ask them out. Rejection is not always like that, or you try to go for a job and you feel rejected. A lot of times you can be born with rejection. You can be born into situations and you pick things based on what you were born into. And I remember just picking, that's why I said I made my spouse a God. And God had to show me that, because I wanted to feel acceptance that I had never felt before, not even in my childhood. And I felt like I had found this person that I felt acceptance for, but it was not acceptance like I thought it was, and validation.
That's so powerful. That's so powerful. I mean, born with that rejection, and I agree with the therapist. I've never thought about that, but there's so many people that can relate to it, that it was something that not necessarily you chose, but it chose you.
I know you heard that saying a lot of times, hurt people hurt people. I don't think all the time people just want to reject people, but you got to go back and like really look at that dynamics. The woman that you encountered or the man you encounter, if you look back at their dynamics, and sometimes, because I think about my childhood shaped a lot of my choices. My lack of things that I had, lack of love, lack of acceptance. And then you can have too much of something, I had too much abuse, too much trauma. And when you're not, I didn't choose this life, I didn't choose these things, but what am I going to do with it now? Am I going to sit around and be bitter, mad, angry? Am I going to be defeated, or am I going to keep handing out to other people what was given to me? But I didn't do that with my life, and I'm so thankful to God for that I didn't like hand out what was given to me. And I just love the way God designed things. And even though when I look back now, I'm 49, if I could have planned my story out, I still wouldn't have planned it out any different, even though I've experienced the hurt, even though I experienced the pain, and it shaped my choices, even in my marriage. And picking out a partner. A lot of times we have to take a journey and a healing journey just for ourselves, just to put yourself to the side and just work on yourself. And when I say work on yourself, that means you got to face some things about yourself. You're going to have to face some hard truths. You're going to have to face some ugly things about yourself, why you do the things you do. And sometimes it ain't even because you want to do it. It's just because what was, like I was saying, I was birthed into it. But I don't use that for excuse, because I don't give out what was given to me.